here we are. So, props workshop. What is prop design? So, I know that most of us, including myself, we like to draw characters. We like to draw our silly little guys. But what world are our silly little guys in? What objects do they interact with? If you want to, learn to draw and expand on your character's world, here's what prop design is for. So it expands on the world building of the world or character, and it's good to know if you need to learn like kind of the like the foundations of art, such as like perspective, cubes, orthographic view, etc., etc. And there's a lot of iterations. It takes up a lot of time and takes inspiration from real objects. And okay, so I'm biased. So these are concept art that I that I just took from the internet from my favorite video games. These three down here from Portal and F-Stop. Those two are from Nier Automata, and those two from Mirror's Edge. And as you can see, these are all very different games, but they all have a vibe to them because the prop design, they tell you what world it is. Portal here, you see that it's, I don't know, some kind of office, science-y world with a lot of gadgets. You may like think, I need to put this button, or I need to put this cube on the button to open the door. And that's what you gotta do. Near Automata, there's a bunch of robots and mechas. That's what it is, robots and mechas. In Mirror's Edge, you're in a kind of grungy, the point of the game is that you run away a lot. It's a platformer. And that bag looks very important, because it is. But prop design, essential to expanding your world. Oh, that's the wrong cube.
Yeah. So here are some prop designs as examples that I made for Wolverine Soft Studio. Concept art and guides for props are important because it shows different sides of a prop, and it shows the details for when they get drawn at different angles, and also for when they get translated into 3D models. You can plan it in plan the prop from isometric perspective. This is like these grid background stuff, and isometric is helpful because it shows like three sides of the object. Like especially with cubes and stuff, you can see like this side, all the sides over here. These are orthographic designs. So if you have like just like this flat designs, 2D designs that you want to put on top of like a 3D object, these are helpful so that they don't get distorted when they get put into perspective. So like what this isometric grid is used for is that like each of the three lines, they're all parallel, so they don't like converge at a point. That makes it so it shows both height, length, width, that kind of thing. So like X, Y, and Z axes. You can get very specific about like the measurements and the proportions of these. If you want to draw in like isometric or 2D grids, a lot of programs have drawing guides. In Procreate, you can use like the wrench settings button, and then choose a drawing guide, and then you can choose from like 2D isometric perspective and like customize it. And then like if you want to get your lines like really clean and follow the guide, you can use Drawing Assist by tapping on the layer and then choosing that option. There's a lot of processes that you can use when like translating isometric to orthographic. I find isometric is easier to like ideate and like experiment with like different aspects of what you want the prop to be, and then you can change that into orthographic designs. For this one, I started off with the isometric, but then our 3D modeler wanted like more specific like reference, so that they can like bring this into Blender and then change it into give it dimension. So I used the tops of these slabs and transformed them using the distort tool to match the 2D grid. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can go from orthographic to isometric, and isometric to orthographic.
Yeah, so again, further what Janet said, there's some further examples of what, again, she showed you the isometric. You can easily make a, I guess, cube or a outside layer, but also you can make an interior. And that's what the 2D grid looks like. It's just like straight horizontal or vertical horizontal lines if you want something clean and sharp. And then the perspective grid as well. You can make 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point perspective. That's like you use that for like buildings and landscapes, but sometimes it's good for like if you want to do a prop in a landscape. And I found this out quite recently, but you should, if you don't know, like it's hard to draw a thing. Like if you want a specific object in mind, but you don't know how to ideate it, or there's just not a lot of good references you can find online, go to Sketchfab 3D. It's a website where people can submit their they can submit their own 3D models. Can I search something on here? Yeah. So I'll just search up a chair. That's not a chair, but there's a bunch of other chairs. So it's like if you need a very specific rocking chair, this old style rocking chair, you can play with it around at any angle and draw it. In fact, in the next slide there's an example of what I needed to search up what a good like a fighter jet pilot chair, and I'm like, I can't find any good references online. So I went on Sketchfab and I found someone made a really nice model of a fighter jet chair, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna use that, and I did. You'll soon see. And we also had a speaker in the past, Tatiana Quigley, who was a product designer for tabletop games. So she made not just characters, but also kind of the design aspect of the game itself, which is pretty cool. Check it out on our YouTube. Yeah, some advertising there. Go subscribe. And here are some of my props. I just realized they're all in black and white, but basically this is the chair that I referenced, and along with all the interiors of this spaceship that I was drawing, I just looked up on Sketchfab spaceship cockpit. That's what I looked up, and there was a lot of nice models that I was able to take inspiration from. Same with this rifle, and then a old terminal. And here's what I mean by how props can really enhance your characters. So I have two characters here. One of them is in a library with a lot of books and a map, and she's writing down, sitting in a chair. What do you think she likes to do? Write and read, obviously, and it's a cozy area. Versus this character who is sitting on a floor with a bunch of scattered objects, such as a toolkit, shotgun, bullets, and MRE, which is a meal ready to eat or whatever from the military. So again, you must kind of assume okay, she maybe likes to tinker with technology, but also is a weapons expert, stuff like that. So, and then also that there is a little weird device that maybe it shows a map of the world. So yeah, so making props can really just advance how the world your character lives in.
Yeah. Here's some of my examples. Okay, so for more technical drawings or concept art, you can draw it from different angles, draw different parts of it to kind of show other people or yourself how something works. So I did you can make little notes and stuff to let people know, and the dimensions of every piece and how it's put together. So when you translate it into 3D, you can kind of do it pretty easily. For my more illustrative style, I really like using wiggly lines to kind of show that it's a human making it. So I don't use drawing assist at times. I just use the drawing guide as to keep the perspective right, but also give it character. Another technique that you can use is I made a 3D model of something that was complex and kind of hard to draw from different angles, and then drew on top of it. So that's something you can think about as well. So try it on your own. Here's some fun prompts that you can do for the rest of the meeting. You can design a prop from Sketchfab reference. You can try making it an isometric or orthographic prop guide. You can make a prop inspired by a character that can be your OC or a favorite character. You can draw a prop with personality, illustrate a prop in perspective within a story context. If you were a prop, what prop would you be? You could make a prop of yourself. And another one is make a prop that holds lore and get people thinking. Yeah.
Yay!
Have fun.
Get drawing!